Glad you're with us on Oklahoma's sports scene across the state of Oklahoma. Hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln, along with Gil Cloud, the TBS Hall of Fame Athletic Director. And Coach, we have a packed show. It's Super Bowl Sunday coming up.
I guarantee we got to get ready for Super Bowl Sunday, and we've got some really good guests that can talk about that.
And our show lineup starts, though, with Oklahoma State's big new football season ticket push. And we're welcoming over Payton Phillips, their new Administrative Athletic Director in charge of ticket sales. Some incredible plans, including, ready Cowboy fans? They've dropped ticket prices for OSU football. You've got to hear about this. Then to talk about the Super Bowl, Jerry Ostaski, who played a Super Bowl with the Buffalo Bills, he'll be with us. Gene Barrett, who played 10 years for the San Francisco 49ers, will join us. We have Vincent Orange, and Vincent, of course, going to your Hall of Fame, Coach.
8th Annual Hall of Fame this year, and Vincent was a tremendous running back at Webster, and then, of course, went to Oklahoma State. And he tells us when he met Terry Miller, Terry Miller said he was really, really glad to see him because he needed somebody to block for him.
And Vince did a heck of a job. Also talked to Mike James, the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame. He's come over from Oklahoma City to tell us about the Warren Spahn Award dinner coming up and the Jim Thorpe Award as well. And then Jim Herron, and a friend of his, the Tulsa Gaelic Athletic Club, about hurling.
Not the kind of hurling you're thinking about.
No, something brand new for us, Coach, here. All right. Of course, the whole world of sports is talking about the tragic death of Kobe Bryant and 8 others in that helicopter crash outside of Los Angeles.
I'll tell you, it's a shame when you hear the reports today that the police helicopters were not allowed to take off because the fog was so thick.
Gosh.
You've got to wonder the judgment of the individual flying the helicopter. Now, what I understand was this is something they did very regularly with this particular group.
It's his helicopter.
Yeah,
Kobe
and they would fly him back and forth to the games and practices for his daughter. But it is a shame because Kobe had so much to yet give to this country.
And adding the tragedy is his daughter Gianna.
Oh, yes.
13 years old, and another coach, his daughter, and it's just on and on. But
9 people, it's just really tragic.
We had a local tragedy here, truly a sports icon, and I didn't even know his first name. I just called him Doc. Doc Blevins, how we've known him for how many years, what an impact he's had in the community. He just passed away.
I met Gary Doc Blevins middle 70s at Union. I went there in 76, and about 77, 78, he was there doing starting the FCA program.
Right.
He did our public address from Union and then Union Tuttle Stadium for years and years and years. We always laughed about one young man came up there one night and we were playing Bishop Kelly, and this youngster was in the 8th grade, and he used to use the phone up there, and the phone was always right next to Doc. And he said, well, sure, you can use this phone. And he called his mother to come pick him up, and his mother said, well, who are you playing? He said, oh, British Skelly. And from that point on, every time I saw Doc, I thought about British Skelly, because that kid. But Doc was a one of a kind, cared deeply about those kids, about the schools. Now, he was as involved with Owasso and East Central as he was Union over the years.
Long-time pastor, as you mentioned, very much involved in fellowship with Christian athletes and a sports broadcaster as well. I enjoyed working with Doc in the Union games. He was on the sidelines for a quarter of a century, I guess, and a remarkable guy, and he'll certainly be missed, and God bless you, Doc. Well, as an old K-Stater, you must have not been surprised. That rivalry with the Jayhawks and the Wildcats has always been kind of wild, but it got a little out of hand.
You know, I tell you, Chris, I hate that for intercollegiate athletics. I hate it for interscholastic athletics. I hate it for professional athletics. There's no place for that. And where the location in the arena, in the handicap area, where they spilled over into that, where people who could not defend themselves
picked up that stool
and picked up a stool and everything. Bad judgment, selfishness on their part. I always said that when a kid does something like that, they're thinking about themselves. They're not thinking about anybody else. And so
Bill Self stood up and no excuses.
No excuses, and the Big 12 handed out some really game suspensions that'll be impactful on Kansas.
Yeah, on a positive basketball note, how about those Golden Hurricanes? #1 in the American Athletic Conference. They're on a roll right now, and they host. Get out there and support them. They'll take on Wichita this Saturday, February 1st, 5 p.m. at the Reynolds Center. It's a huge game. They're on a roll. They just beat UConn in overtime.
God, they really, really need a great crowd on Saturday.
How about that
for
Memphis
Wichita.
game? What?
Well,
Number 20?
Memphis comes in here and they beat them 80-40. 40-14 at the half. Can you? It's unbelievable.
The number 20 team in the nation.
Exactly.
Wow, great job.
I think Frank's group have really bought in now
Yeah.
to what he's been trying to teach, and they play really, really well. And to go to UConn, a tough environment,
Yep.
to go up there and win in overtime, it was a great send-off to get back here for Wichita.
5 o'clock tip-off Saturday. Be there at the Reynolds Center. Support TU and Wichita, the Golden Hurricane. And how about our old friend Todd Graham, back as a head coach in college football? Not a bad job, huh?
Well, if you want to be somewhere, Hawaii is a good place to be.
Not bad.
And Todd will do a good job. It's amazing the guys that stay in coaching.
Yeah.
Don't want to get out. They
Kinda
want to
cycle.
stay. And but he'll do a good job out there, and hopefully he'll be able to get back to the mainland someday.
95-61 is college record. Of course, he had great success here at TU. He's led 9 of his teams to bowl games. We wish Todd Graham all the success at the University of Hawaii, their new head football coach. And you had a new football coach to announce at Booker T.
We announced today that Jonathan Brown, the defensive coordinator for the Booker T. Washington Hornets, will become the head coach effective February the 5th. We're promoting him from within. He has been on the staff since 2013, played at the University of Tennessee, played professionally for the Green Bay Packers, and then ended his career in Canada with the Toronto Argonauts. Came back to Tulsa in 2010, and we're tickled to death to have him.
Jonathan Brown, the new Hornets head coach. We'll come right back and talk Oklahoma State football and cut ticket prices for OSU 2020.
Cheers. All right, y'all, how's everything tasting?
That is awesome.
I come bearing gifts of the liquid variety.
Bricktown Brewery. Come and get it.
Hey, Jen, could you come here, please?
Hey, Sammy, what's up?
Could you tell Winston the 2019 pilots on CRVs are priced to sell this month?
Okay. Winston, Sammy says pilots and CRVs are priced to sell this month. He seems pretty excited.
Yeah, he is.
Hurry in today and find huge savings on all remaining 2019 pilots and CRVs.
Hey, Winston, get excited.
At Rogers State University, we keep things personal.
It all starts here.
We make sure our graduates get the most out of their education.
RSU has campuses in Claremore, Bartlesville, and Pryor, with on-campus housing and a wide variety of programs to suit your needs.
It all starts here.
Rogers State University.
To be honest, they kind of said it earlier. This is my family, this is my second home. I want to get my degree. There's a lot of things that factor into it, but I want a national championship. I want a golf thing, so that's what we're going to do.
Well, that gives you an idea of some of the excitement on the campus at Oklahoma State University. Chuba Hubbard said, hey, I'm back to win a national championship. With that in mind, OSU's jumped on the chance to sell some tickets to the fans there. And joining us, glad to have with us Payton Phillips who's from Oklahoma State University. He's their associate athletic director in terms of marketing and ticket sales. I tell you, the best thing about it, Payton, any sales guy, you got a heck of a product to sell. Tell us about it.
Oh, we do. Well, of course, we've got Chuba coming back,
That's right.
of course, which was a pleasant surprise for all of us. We got Tylen Wallace coming back,
Yep.
Spencer Sanders. So, and also something that's kind of gotten overlooked is our defense. So we've got so much talent coming back on that defense. And Eamon Ogbongbemiga was there at the.
Glad you said that.
Yeah, was at our pep rally as well. And so we've got so much talent and an exciting team to be excited
And
about.
the nation's recognized it because they're like the top 15 in every preseason poll so far.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And to get that recognition nationally, I think it's refreshing. It's exciting for all of us in the athletics department as well, because, of course, we've got a lot of other teams around us that are very good as well that we get to compete against. So to get a little bit of that national love is always good.
It's going to be really good, I think, as you go through your preseason and everything and get these ticket sales going. Your goal is to sell how many?
51,000 tickets.
51,000.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
What do you think?
I think we'll make it. I think we've got such a good team, and we've got a great plan rolled out. And we've got a lot of exciting new details about the season ticket rollout that we just put out about a week ago. With renewals are online now.
Did I read this right? More than 12,000 seats available in Boone Pickens Stadium, and season ticket prices. Look at this, coaches. You'll have a heart attack here. Will be decreased.
Oh my!
How about that? Now explain how you're doing that.
So, so actually, we bring analytics to our pricing this year.
Very good.
So a lot of that's part of it's demand based. Part of it is to be accessible. Ultimately, we've kind of got this narrative that our season ticket prices are the most expensive in the country, and first of all, that's not true. Even before this price change, but now our entry level season ticket price is going down to $275 this year for this whole season.
Wow.
So that'll give us and our fans a little bit more opportunity to get to our games and be more accessible to more households, which is what we're trying to do. Boone Pickens, who of course left us this past fall, we've got a quote up in the building over in the West End Zone where the football offices are that essentially ends with now all we have to do is fill her up. So we're trying to take that to heart, and instead of just getting every single dollar we can, we want to create the atmosphere and the home field advantage.
Yeah.
You know, that probably will do that, won't it?
Oh yeah.
I think it would reduce the ticket price, especially during these times. You know, people are looking at that. How do you compare it to Big 8?
Big
12, I mean.
No, of course.
He was a Big 8 guy.
Yeah,
Kansas State days.
Oh yeah. So I've actually only been here about 5 months, so I'm not too familiar with the pricing around the league. But I was just speaking with a colleague down in Norman the other day, and I believe they're started over $450.
I see.
So
also
we're pretty competitive there.
Opening up 4 new sections of seats and making available 13,421 season tickets for less than $500. Entry-level tickets, you mentioned, drop to $375. You buy 4 or more season tickets, drops down to $275. And nothing attractive to sell. The home schedule, 2020, coming to Boone Pickens and Stillwater, Oregon State, Western Illinois, Tulsa, Iowa State, Texas Tech, West Virginia, finish with Texas.
Yes, we do. So, of course, it's a non-bedlam year. We do not have a quote-unquote premium game this year where you have to buy the season package to get that game. We think that that'll create a better opportunity for Texas to sell out, to fill up. That should be a special game for us because, well, Texas is always back, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, Texas is back, way back. They're back at Austin, where they are.
So hopefully they'll be competitive coming into the game. We'll have a good game against them to end the year.
Fans will notice, I'm sure, pretty quickly, you're going to relocate the great OSU marching band.
Yes, so that's actually something that I guess for a while now our band has wanted to move, and we didn't know that. And as we were going through this project and looking at the best place for them from a fan experience standpoint, we started looking at some options, and we also shifted the student section to make it one consistent block so it's not shifted between the 300 level, the 200 level, and the 100 level. And what we wanted to do is put the band right in the heart of that to create the student section's the heartbeat of the stadium. We wanted the band to be the heartbeat of the student section and create a little bit better home field advantage. So when we went to our band director, before we even asked, we were talking about new ideas for next year, which we've got a lot for the in-game experience next year. But before we even got to that, he said, "Let me ask you something. Can we move?"
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Your idea.
Funny you say that, but we start talking about where we want it, where he would think it would be best, and this will condense them as well. They wanted to be more compact. They felt that they sounded better and looked better on the road, just because they had fewer seats. Right now they're really spread out, so that'll condense them. It'll put them right above the tunnel where the team comes out. And then also put them right in the exact center of the student section.
That's fantastic. Well, you remember, as an athletic director, the saying is, it doesn't make any difference who won the game, it's how many tickets were sold.
Exactly. Of course, winning certainly helps with that.
It does help
We're
sell
fortunate
tickets,
to have a winning program and a lot of excitement going into the season next year. But on top of that, we're working on a lot of things. Some of the items were in the release as well, and other elements of the in-game presentation, in-game experience, we're working right now to enhance those things. You'll see a lot more orange on the sidelines this year. We've kind of lost a little bit of that aura, that power of orange over the last 10 years or so.
Isn't that interesting too, when you stop and think about what you have to do today to sell tickets?
Yes.
It's all about promotion.
Yeah,
it's all about, you got to create a reason other than just the game for that person to be there.
Absolutely. And so part of it, it's not just the technical side. Yes, we're working hard to make things more accessible to the fan base on the technical side and some better sections available with the result of the student section shift. But the other side of that is the emotional side. I mean, we're in the entertainment business. Right. We talk about it every now and then. We're fortunate. We're not doctors. We're not saving lives here. But we're creating an escape and a way to enjoy and be with family and friends and in a social environment. And so what we've done, you may have seen the video that Chad Weiberg did that kicked off this series, but what we're saying is when you're here, you get it. What's so special about Stillwater, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State? My wife and I moved there I mentioned 5 months ago, and we immediately fell in love with it. It's hard to put our finger on, but it's a special place. And as our team sat down to figure out, okay, what's the story that we're going to tell this year? We're now in the room for about 2 hours, and finally someone said, I don't know, it's really hard to describe, but it's just when you're here, you get it. That's it.
Sell some tickets for us. Who do they have to call? Go to the website, give us some information.
Absolutely. So you can call us. We have a new fan service team at 877-ALL-4-OSU, or you can go to okstate.com/tickets. So if you do have season tickets to renew, those are online right now. But you can also call or go online and purchase season tickets and seats that were not sold last year right now.
We have some for Payton Phillips here, the new associate AD.
If you're not selling tickets, you can go to Bricktown on us.
Join us in Bricktown there.
Absolutely.
Payton, welcome to Oklahoma. Welcome to Oklahoma State University.
Appreciate it. It's been great so far.
Orange Power, right?
Orange Power, yep.
2020 had a great year for the Cowboys. Again, get those tickets, folks. We'll come back. Big O, Jerry Ostaski is here to talk Super Bowl. Stay with us.
The service is amazing.
Food's delicious.
I love the avocado fries.
I love the energy.
Local beer, great food, truly friendly service.
Look all right for you?
Bricktown Brewery, come and get it.
Each week we talk about the GTR, and we know for a fact that Forrest Cameron and his wife Sharon put out a tremendous paper. Well, I brought all 6 of them today. I'd like for you to see them. The Union Boundary, and here is the Owasso Rambler. And if you live in Bixby, how about the Bixby Breeze or Broken Arrow, the Broken Arrow Express, Jinx, District Gazette, and then of course the Tulsa Midtown. All of those, the GTR. If you haven't had an opportunity to read one, do it, and you'll be proud of it.
Hey Mo, you feeling tired after the holidays?
Actually, no. I just did some laps this morning.
Laps? How far did you run?
Who said anything about running? I took the TLX.
Right now, you'll find incredible lease specials on all 2020 TLXs, in addition to our huge inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles.
Wait, you're going again?
Consistency, Jan. It's key.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Sports Scene. We have Jerry Ostaski, the premium seat coordinator for the University of Tulsa, but he's going to talk about the premium Super Bowl.
That's right, the Big O. Good to see you, Big O.
How you doing, guys?
Of course, All-American with TU, long career with the Buffalo Bills before their Super Bowl runs, right?
No, I was there for the last one.
Is that right?
Yeah, I was there for the last one.
They didn't blame you for that, did they?
The one we played at the Cowboys in Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta.
Give us an idea of the Super Bowl experience. What's it like, Jerry?
I don't think I've been a part of anything like it still.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, when we did it, you didn't have that week in between. So we had actually met. We were playing the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. We had actually met as a team with our administration on Thursday to kind of go over all the plans and finalize everything in case we did win. So we went on Sunday, and we were back at the stadium next day, parked the cars inside the stadium. We went down the ramp, went and parked them on the field, and got in buses and went to the airport and flew to Atlanta and spent a week down there.
1993 to 2002, played for the Buffalo Bills after an All-American career at TU. And again, congratulations again for retiring his jersey number 55 last fall here at the University of Tulsa, as he sells some seats too. But before that, let's talk about this matchup. The Kansas City Chiefs, the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm kind of on this thing where I like both teams right now. And the reason why is this. I'm an Andy Reid guy.
Yeah.
I know I'm a Bills fan, but I grew up in Philadelphia, so I'm an Eagles fan. So Andy Reid coached the Eagles for a long time, made a Super Bowl with Philadelphia. They did not win. They lost to the Patriots. But, I'd like to see Andy do well. He did a lot for the Eagles. But I also like the Niners because of how they play.
Yeah.
They play tremendous, tenacious defense up front. Not gimmicky. I mean, they line up 4 guys up front, and they get after it. And I really enjoy that. And I also enjoy the fact that they play multiple tight ends. They play fullbacks. And they line up and hit you in the mouth on offense as well. So my style of football and what I kind of gravitate towards is the Niners, but I do, if Andy Reid gets one, I'd be happy as well.
You look at that, Jerry, and the defensive side has got to be on the side of San Francisco.
Yeah.
They play so tenacious, like you say, but how diversified is that Kansas City offense?
The Kansas City offense is second to none, and I've seen a little bit of it in the past. It's kind of the same thing they used to do in Philadelphia. Andy gets speed. He wants fast guys. He wants quarterbacks who can make plays not only with their arm but also with their feet. But when you look at this kind of matchup, it's going to kind of be like these other playoff games, in my estimation. I don't think Kansas City starts well, and if you look at how they played in the playoffs, they've given up points early.
24 and 17, they were down. Yeah.
Right. And the problem is, though, when they start rolling, the other teams, you look at Tennessee and how they played offense, they weren't a come-from-behind type team. Once Kansas City gets out in front and puts pressure on the other team, they don't have the ability to keep up. Here's the difference between this matchup and others. Yeah. This is an elite defense that they haven't played yet. You got Sherman in the defensive backfield. So you've got some things defensively that the 49ers do that could continually cause the Chiefs fits throughout the game. So we'll see, I expect the Niners to start quick on offense, especially with ball control.
Right.
But can they keep Kansas City out of the end zone enough? That'll be the key.
Well, you stop and think. Mahomes is still a young quarterback.
Yes, he is.
They changed up those coverages in the secondary. They could really fool him.
He's young, but so's Garoppolo.
No, sure.
Yeah, he's untested.
Well, Garoppolo just manages the game. He hands it off, and that's stays
so
out
as
of the
guys
way.
that have followed sports for all these years, and my good friend Gene will be on here in a while, and he's obviously been a part of football for, it seems like hundreds of years. But if you look at this and you start talking about pressure games, right? What usually wins pressure games? Defense and running the football, because you're not making the mistakes through the air.
Absolutely.
So that's should be a good one.
This Patrick Mahomes is pretty special, though, huh?
He's amazing. I mean, he's good arm.
Yeah.
Runs really, really well. But the thing about him that I enjoy is the mental side of it. Not too high, not too low. Tremendous leader. And you talked about it a second ago with young quarterbacks and making mistakes and stuff like that. But you have to think if there was one that wasn't going to do it. It might be him.
Well, take us to the trenches. How do you like the lines on both sides?
Again, I think that you're looking at a San Francisco defensive line that's premier, with numerous number 1 draft picks. One being a number 1 overall or number 2 overall in Bosa. The Buckner kid is an interesting player because he's a guy that when he came out of Oregon was drafted. A lot of people thought he was a bust because they wanted to try to keep him long, leaner, and make an edge pass rusher out of him. Well, when the new group came in with Lynch, they're like, look, you're going to go in and get big. You're going to eat. You're going to hit weights. And all of a sudden now he's just this huge man that's hard to take, to handle. So I enjoy that team. I really like watching Bosa. Bosa's one of my favorite players.
You have a pick for us then? You're going to still wait on it. Vegas says Chiefs by, 1.5? It's close. It's really close.
Yeah, it's close.
I think that as much as I like the Niners, I still have to go with Kansas City because I just don't know if – I think they might be able to slow them down better than others. I just don't think they can stop them. I just don't.
Let's talk about the difference. Reid, Shanahan. Reid, very experienced. Shanahan's new. I mean, he's a young head coach.
Yeah. So. He's a young head coach, but it's funny. He's been taught well.
Oh,
all his life,
from the womb.
Yeah.
I mean,
he plays the percentages.
Yeah, 2-time
Super
Bowl
ball
champion
control
coach for Denver.
But I'm looking forward to this one as much as I have in quite some time as far as the Super Bowl matchup goes.
I would think the country, too, is emotionally on the Andy Reid Chiefs. 50 years, half a century, the Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl. Andy Reid, everybody's going to love Andy Reid. They showed up, they said, when they arrived in Miami, all the Chief players wore Hawaiian shirts in honor of Coach Reid. They really think the world of him.
Well, it's been so long since they've been in the Super Bowl. The last picture I saw of Lynn Dawson, he was sitting in the locker room smoking a cigarette.
Right,
okay, that's how long it's been since the Chiefs have been relevant and been in the Super Bowl. So I'm looking forward to it.
Payton Phillips is here from Oklahoma State University selling some season tickets for OSU for football. They're excited. I see some good things from TU. People excited about TU, the way they finish, and looking ahead. Let's talk about TU football.
Obviously, football's coming along, but we've got a basketball team right now. It's playing really well.
Number one in the league.
You know, I wish we would quit talking about games they didn't win early in the season because you know what? It doesn't matter right now. They're taking care of what they need to take care of. They've learned from adversity. They've learned from mistakes. And just like this weekend against UConn, I don't think that team early in the season or last year, that team wins this game.
Yeah.
They're definitely playing well. I think the Rochelle kid has really brought this group together because we haven't had that kind of a edgy type of player in a while. And Rochelle is an edgy, tough kid.
Tell us about this big game Saturday and tickets available for the Wichita State game.
Yeah, Wichita State, I think we're sitting right now a little bit over 6,000 tickets, so there's still a few thousand left. Obviously, Wichita will bring some people, but our Tulsa fan base is showing back up. They're wanting to see good basketball, which our team is playing. 631 go to you. You can get tickets, or you can also go to TulsaHurricane.com/tickets and get tickets to the game. It's a good time to be in Reynolds Center. It's starting to feel like it used to a little while ago.
That's nice.
5 in a row, be 6 on Saturday.
If we get 5 in a row, we might be sitting there at 25 or 24 by the end of the week.
I love that. Got something to Big O here.
You bet, Jerry. When you're not selling tickets, you can go to Bricktown on us.
Yes.
Enjoy, my friend.
And you know me, I'm always one to turn down food.
Big O, Jerry Ostaski visiting with us here at the Super Bowl. And as he mentioned, an old-timer is coming up next. Gene Barrett, former San Francisco 49er. When did you see his helmet? How about that, huh?
Yeah.
Right back.
Hey, Jen, could you come here, please?
Hey, Sammy, what's up?
Could you tell Winston the 2019 pilots on CRVs are priced to sell this month?
Okay. Winston, Sammy says pilots and CRVs are priced to sell this month. He seems pretty excited.
Yeah, he is.
Hurry in today and find huge savings on all remaining 2019 pilots and CRVs.
Hey, Winston, get excited.
I bring Tulsa's voice to Oklahoma City and Washington. I build relationships with elected officials and community stakeholders to develop policies that grow the Tulsa region. I loved my time at Rogers State University. The personal relationships I developed with professors really helped develop a skill set that would help me serve the Tulsa region that I care about. It all started for me at Rogers State University.
At Bricktown Brewery, we're known for our famous original craft beers like Single String Stout and Bluesberry Ale. Did you know we also brew our own root beer at our Oklahoma City brewhouse? It's called Attaboy Root Beer, and you'll love it no matter what your age. Just ask for a Bricktown Kids menu with all the favorites for our guests 12 and under. Bricktown Brewery opens every day at 11 a.m.
Well, you can tell that helmet has been to war. That is the helmet of the San Francisco 49ers, Gene Barrett. He wore it from 1973 to 1980 when he was the star of the 49ers. Perfect timing. Built him up to a Super Bowl quality team, then retired the year before they got to their first Super Bowl. How'd that happen, Gene?
I was just so smart. You know, Bill Walsh came in, been coaching for 2 years. I thought, this is the best coach I've ever seen. I think I'll quit and go. I still don't understand what the rationale was behind all that.
Well, you're still a 49er, and talk about the Super Bowl coming up here in the test of the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. I was listening to Jerry earlier.
Right.
Of course, he's the expert. You know, I'm just a passive fan anymore. But I was reading somewhere this week that they think this may be the closest match to teams that the Super Bowl's had in a long, long time. And I really agreed pretty much with what Jerry said. However, I did kind of like to think the 49ers are going to win. However, Andy Reid is a favorite of mine, and how can you be unhappy with Mahomes? He is such an amazing individual. But I'm hoping that Kansas City starts out slow, like they've been doing. San Francisco starts out fast with their running game, and can control the ball enough to just limit the touches that Mahomes have. That's really that and their defense, which if you can keep the defense off the field, when they're on the field, they're going to be awesome. They're going to really do a great job.
Let me ask you this: Super Bowl week is a big week, for everybody. They get really excited about that and everything. As a former player, do you still have contact with some of your teammates that played in San Francisco, and do you have contact with the team now?
Don't really have much contact now, with the internet and email and everything. They've got us all signed up, and so they send a few emails out and everything, but we really don't. As you all know, I'm head of our Oklahoma NFL Players Association. Really, right offhand, I don't think that any of our guys played for San Francisco other than myself. But it's always great to get all those guys together and tell a few war stories and talk about the good old days. I know Chris and I were trying to rack our brains the other day to see who had Super Bowl experience, and here Jerry was right under our noses.
I totally dismissed
and
Jerry.
I didn't remember that.
That's right.
No.
And you guys do a great job at association. It's been good for the TPS too in the schools.
The Players Association and the things that they've done with the fundraising and the dollars obviously always help high school athletics in Northeast Oklahoma, and they've done a really good job with that. We're very appreciative of that.
How much have you been able to contribute over the years here?
Well, we've got $35,000 we're getting ready to give away here next month, and we're laying the groundwork for the Kickoff Classic. It's going to be September 20th and 21st out at the Hard Rock again, and we're making a few changes. We've already drafted some people to help us promote the event, sell some tickets and stuff, and my goal is to double that. So I don't know if we can do that, but you got to have a goal. You got to get there. I mean, just think about the 49ers, where they were last year and where they are this year. That's hard to believe.
Let's talk about some 49ers history, and they have, of course, a great history. They became the first Super Bowl team to win 5 Super Bowls back in 1995. They started in '82. That was what, a year after you left them there? Yeah. Won their first Super Bowl, beat Cincinnati 26-21. They won Super Bowl 1985. Beat Miami 38-16. '89, they beat Denver 55-10. 1994 over the Chargers 49-26. And '95 win 5 Super Bowls, beating San Diego 49-26. That game in Miami. So the 49ers have had some success in Miami. Had a great Super Bowl history.
They really do. I mean, when the DeBartolos took over, they brought in Bill Walsh, and they laid a groundwork for just an amazing run. And just as you said, great victories, multiple quarterbacks. Just not everybody's the same. But I think one of the things that pretty much stayed the same, the thing that gets so overlooked with Joe Montana, I mean, he was a great quarterback. I mean, Bill Walsh came in and molded him. Of course, they got pretty fortunate when they drafted Ronnie Lott and a few other defensive players. But their defense was so awesome that it always gave the offense an opportunity that if they weren't quite in sync, quite in gear, the defense was shutting the other guys down until they could get in gear.
By the way, some Super Bowl numbers before we wrap up this section here. The very first Super Bowl I with the Kansas City Chiefs in 1967 playing Green Bay. A 30-second TV commercial, and it was played on 2 networks at the time, was $37,500. To buy a 30-second spot in this Sunday's 2020 Super Bowl is $5.6 million for 30 seconds. $5.6 million for 30 seconds. The ratings, why they pay that money, the highest Super Bowl ever rating-wise, 114.4 million viewers. That was the 2015 Super Bowl, that great Super Bowl between New England and Seattle. Last year, though, interestingly, Super Bowl went under 100 million viewers for the first time in 10 years. So I think this one might pick it up again, Gene. It's a great matchup. I know you're a 49er man, so tell us what the score is going to be. What do you think?
Wow, put me on the spot there. I'm going to go 34-31. How does that sound?
I hope so. Just what a great game, too.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great game. I know my brother called me last Sunday after they clinched it and said, let's go to the game. I said, well, check out the ticket prices.
Yeah. How much are they?
When he was looking, a halfway decent seat, $12,500 a piece. I said, he called me and said, you're talking $50,000 to go to the game? I think I'll just stay at home.
You came here on Sportscene. We have something for you for free.
Well, here's the deal.
Yeah.
I can watch it in my den for nothing.
I know.
You're going to break it down for us, okay?
Thank you very much.
Thanks for all your good work with my association, too.
I appreciate it.
NFL did a great job for the schools, so appreciate that, too. We're going to come back with a TPS Hall of Famer to be, Vincent Orange. You Oklahoma State fans will love hearing back from Vincent again. Straight ahead on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
Hey, Mo. You feeling tired after the holidays?
Actually, no. I just did some laps this morning.
Laps? How far did you run?
Who said anything about running? I took the TLX.
Right now, you'll find incredible lease specials on all 2020 TLXs, in addition to our huge inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles.
Wait, you're going again?
Consistency, Jan. It's key.
Cheers.
All right, y'all, how's everything tasting? That is awesome.
I come bearing gifts of the liquid variety.
Bricktown Brewery. Come and get it.
At Robertson Tire, we'll match any deal you find on tires, but customer service remains at the core of our business. That's why we've been voted the very best in all 3 major area publications. Thank you for choosing Robertson Tire for all your auto care needs.
Welcome back to Oklahoma Sports Scene. Now we have a very special guest. Our 8th annual TPS Athletics Hall of Fame is this Thursday night, and Vince Orange, West Side Webster Warrior, will be going in to this 8th group. And welcome to the show and welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Right, thank you, sir. Congratulations, Vincent. Hey, we go back a few years. I covered you when you were an Oklahoma State Cowboy. I remember that, Vincent.
Yes. Yeah.
But of course, it all started at Webster High School. Talk about those early days at Webster, what it meant to you, and how it got you ready for a college football career.
Okay. One of the things I like so much about, as I look back, the opportunity to participate. And when I was at Webster, when I was going through the West Tulsa system, there was always a lot of pride. And we were always encouraged to do things that were team-oriented. But I really enjoyed the experience, whether it's coming up through back then it was the Blue Tea Club, and then getting on into the Webster school system and playing athletics there. There was a lot of history. There was a lot of people that had done great things years prior to that. So I felt, like I was standing on a lot of people's shoulders, and that helped a lot. We had a lot of great coaches. The really big thing I liked about it was we had a community that was behind us, and we had a lot of what's now really legendary people as we talk about folks like, like Bill Allen and those types of guys. So that's what I enjoyed the most, and but really as a person, being able to learn how to deal with life, and it really laid a good foundation for us.
Well, you had some great people back there. I know J.B. Haney was a guy that had an effect on your life. And J.B., I've been around J.B. For 43 years. I met him when I went to Union in '76 as the director of athletics. And, but we were very fortunate in Tulsa when you were going through Tulsa to really have some outstanding coaches. I think that made a lot of difference in all those kids' lives.
Yeah, it really did. And not only at Webster, but if I think back to the entire Tulsa area then, whether it was Booker T. Washington or McLean or Edison, all of those coaches really coming up through the junior high system. Back then you'd see people you compete against in junior high, you go to high school.
Right.
And I can even remember going back as far as the days that I was at Roosevelt Junior High, and which was a feeder school to Central, and so when you look back and look at the history, Oklahoma sports in the Tulsa area is a lot to be proud of, and I take a lot of pride in that.
Vincent was a 1,000-yard rusher his senior season, was named the Green Country Football Player of the Year. That got the interest of Oklahoma State University. Jim Stanley snatched him up and threw him in the backfield with another pretty good running back, Terry Miller, 1977.
Yeah, that was really quite an honor. When I was in high school, of course, everyone followed OU and OSU. Terry Miller was really a superstar.
Right.
And I remember being recruited by Coach Stanley, and they brought Terry Miller over, and I remember sitting and talking with him, and I remember saying to him, man, it's just an honor to meet you and all this different stuff. He's like, look, I need you to block for me next year. So I was like, wow. So they were very serious, and I appreciated. The thing I liked about Terry was he was consistent and constant. He was a lot stronger than people thought he was, but he was really fast. But that whole team had just come off a big year. That prior year before had actually defeated Oklahoma that year, And this was a big year, but Terry was one of many great players there. But yeah, it was good. It was an honor to play and start my career off with him.
How do you feel about going to the Tulsa Athletics Hall of Fame?
Well, you know, first of all, I'm humbled. I'm humbled that I'm still acknowledged and remembered for being able to participate first, and hopefully be able to encourage some young folks, some of the young kids that'll be there now, that you really can achieve, and whether you make it all the way to the NFL or whether you make it to the, those things are great. But I have a lot of friends that have done well and gone to the next level. But to go into something as prestigious as a TPS, it's an honor for me, and I was really excited when I heard about it.
Well, you'll be one of 103 this time. We have 13 going in this time, and I tell you, Vincent, one of the great things of my job is to be able to call people like you and tell them you're going to be in the Hall of Fame. I can remember talking to Tony Casillas and Spencer Tillman, and dead silence on the other end of the phone, because this is where they started. This is where you started. Yeah. This is where I started, and it is that evening when you get there and you hear the stories, it's amazing.
January the 30th, come out there. It's the DoubleTree Warren Place. Tickets still available for the TPS Athletics Hall of Fame. Guys like Vincent Korsak, some great stories for you. A guy who was winless as a sophomore at Wichita High School, became a 1,000-yard running back, got a scholarship to Oklahoma State, and by the time he finished OSU, he was their team captain in 1981. So a lot about this guy's character. Vincent, congratulations. Welcome to TPS Athletic Hall of Fame. Well deserved.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And as for you, buddy.
Thank you.
Bricktown. Get down to Bricktown with us. Enjoy a dinner with us, buddy.
Okay, thank you so much.
We'll see you there for the Hall of Fame.
All right, thanks.
Vincent Orange, a real Hall of Famer. Looking forward to having him with us here. We'll come back with Mike James, talk about another Hall of Fame, the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame. Their big Warren Spahn and Jim Thorpe Awards coming up.
The service is amazing.
Food's delicious.
I love the avocado fries.
I love the energy.
Local beer, great food, truly friendly service.
Look all right for you?
Bricktown Brewery, come and get it.
Robertson Tire has been your local tire expert since 1962. Now at RobertsonTire.com, it's easier than ever to get a customized quote. And with our price match guarantee, you can be sure that you're getting the best price. For more information, visit RobertsonTire.com.
Seems to be the time of year for a Hall of Fame and special inductions and special ceremonies. And got one of the best right here, Mike James, our good friend, the president of the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame. Diving over to Oklahoma City to be part of the Oklahoma Sports Scene show again. Some big events coming up at the Hall of Fame, and let's start first with January 31st. It is the 21st Warren Spahn Award. It recognizes and honors the best left-hander in all of Major League Baseball. Boy, you've had some true stars through the years.
We have, Chris, between... if you think about Randy Johnson and CeCe Sabathia and Clayton Kershaw, Dallas Keuchel, some good throwers out there. We got another one coming back this year, world champion.
Washington Nationals coming in, going to be awarded the special presentation this year. Looking forward to having Patrick Corbin, the world champion Washington Nationals, be here to accept his award. It's going to be at the Skirvin Hotel, January 31st. And give us some details there, ticket-wise, time-wise. How do people get there?
There's going to be a reception from 6 to 7 at the Skirvin, and then at 7 o'clock the banquet program begins. Now, the neat thing about that, we also present, during that evening before we present Patrick Corbin with his award, we recognize the top male high school baseball players and the top female high school softball players with the Ferguson Jenkins Awards and the Michelle Smith Awards. So Ferguson Jenkins and Michelle Smith will both be here as well. Wow. And so we'll be honoring the top high school players throughout the state of Oklahoma, not just Oklahoma City, but throughout the state of Oklahoma, and they'll be there as well.
Then February 4th is the Jim Thorpe Awards banquet. That is going to be at the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum in Oklahoma City, 7 o'clock on February 4th. The Paycom Thorpe Award banquet, great history, great tradition here. We had some past Sooners there, and this year we got a LSU Tiger, Grant Delpit, who had, of course, an incredible national championship season for LSU.
And, this will be the first time that we've had, there have only been 2 schools that have had 3 Thorpe Award winners. You've had OU and now LSU.
Okay.
And, the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award really is recognized as the defensive Heisman out there.
Yeah.
They talk about the Heisman Award going to college football's best athlete. And, we kind of have, I won't say it's a running joke, but we kind of have this theme around the Thorpe Award that if you really want to look at the nation's best college athlete, then you should really be looking at defensive backs. Because if you think about it, they're running backwards against the offense's fastest player on the team who's running forward. And so who really is the best athlete on the field? But we're excited to have Grant Delpit back. We're not sure yet who from LSU is going to come out and join him to represent him. Yeah. We're hoping Coach Orgeron comes out so we can hear a Go Tigers.
That's right.
But they've had a wonderful career.
Yeah.
Or they've had a wonderful season, and we're excited to get Grant out here.
Now you've moved into a new facility. How is that working out for you?
Oh, Coach, it's great. It is really great. As a matter of fact, we moved in just a little over a year ago.
At the Bricktown Ballpark,
correct.
in Oklahoma City.
We're at the Chickasaw Bricktown Ballpark in Oklahoma City. We have between 200 and 300 visitors a week that come through there. As I was leaving today, there were people there. There were 2 people there from the BBC network.
Oh my goodness!
That came over to interview our museum curator, who you both know, Justin Lenhart, to talk to him about Jim Thorpe. They literally flew over here to do a big expose on Jim Thorpe.
Yeah.
So we're getting some exposure that we never had before, thanks to where we're at today. And hats off to the city of Oklahoma City and the Oklahoma City Dodgers for opening their doors for us.
I can tell you for sure, Ted Owens, who is a Hall of Famer, and I paid a visit a week or so ago, got our first tour of the new facility. It is fantastic.
Thank you.
And what's even more impressive is to go in the archives there where you guys hiding out with all the other stuff. Amazing collection of things. And I was talking to Coach Switzer this week, who told me he had just sent you his Super Bowl trophy.
He did. We have a new exhibit. It's Coach Barry Switzer's Super Bowl exhibit. We have his Super Bowl trophy, and when we picked it up from him, we asked him, Coach, tell us a story so we can make a storyboard up. And he said, Mike, the commissioner, the NFL commissioner came in after we won the Super Bowl, and he presented us with the Vince Lombardi trophy. Wow. But then immediately after the game was over, they literally had all these trophies lined up. Every coach and every player got their own personal Lombardi trophy.
Really?
And he said, Mike, this is my personal Lombardi trophy. So in the Hall of Fame, we have Coach Switzer's personal Lombardi trophy. We have his personal game ball that he received, along with some headgear from the Dallas Cowboys. And we're that's on display right now. We'll be running that for the next few months, at least throughout the big game.
Well, Gil knows what it's like to try to run a Hall of Fame. He's got his coming up here January 30th, our Tulsa Public School Athletic Hall of Fame that Gil was the founder of and started. Has been just had a great impact.
And Coach, you've had some wonderful people getting inducted here lately too.
Just incredible, the kind of folks we got. The one that just sends me over the top, Emmett McHenry, lives in Washington, D.C., played football at Booker T. Washington High School. He wrote the first code for .com.
No kidding.
Unbelievable. I can't wait to talk to him. How did you come up with what is .com? It's commonplace today. But, when you have a Tony Casillas and Spencer Tillman and Wayman Tisdale and John Starks.
And Coach, guys that are in your Hall of Fame, in the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, like you just said, Tony Casillas and Wayman Tisdale and John Starks. Those are guys that are in the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame. And I'm sure there's going to be some others in the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame that are in yours as well. And we'll be both.
Your 2020 class, I know you've been nominated, talked about and stuff. And when are you going to release those names and talk about when the ceremony will be for the Hall of Fame?
We'll have the luncheon, our first quarter leadership luncheon that we always reserve to announce our class of 2020. That'll be February 27th in Oklahoma City. We'll announce our class of 2020. I will say that we'll have 5 living inductees and 2 posthumous inductees that we're going to induct this year. And and I don't want to give too much away, but I will say that we have inductees coming in from Frederick, Oklahoma, all the way to northeastern Oklahoma and across from border to border. So it's going to be another great class.
Excellent. Yeah.
Well, for making the trip, we have something for you here, Mike. Thanks for coming to Oklahoma City.
Oh, goodness sakes.
Stop by Bricktown on your way home.
You know what? I need to do that because it's a long way home, so I can stop by right on Peoria.
There you go. Absolutely.
Mike, good to see you, my friend.
Wonderful. Thanks for having me. I surely enjoy it every time. Thank you.
Mike James, the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame. If you haven't been to it, make a trip. It's worth it. Bricktown, check us out. Bricktown Ballpark, Oklahoma City. You'll have a great time. We're going to come back and talk some Tulsa Gaelic Athletic Club. Something new. Hurling. Stay with us.
Cheers. Cheers.
All right, y'all, how's everything tasting?
That is awesome.
I come bearing gifts of the liquid variety.
Bricktown Brewery. Come and get it.
Hey Mo, you feeling tired after the holidays?
Actually, no. I just did some laps this morning.
Laps? How far did you run?
Who said anything about running? I took the TLX.
Right now, you'll find incredible lease specials on all 2020 TLXs, in addition to our huge inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles.
Wait, you're going again?
Consistency, Jan. It's key.
At Rogers State University, we keep things personal.
It all starts here.
We make sure our graduates get the most out of their education.
RSU has campuses in Claremore, Bartlesville, and Pryor, with on-campus housing and a wide variety of programs to suit your needs.
It all starts here.
Rogers State University.
You're always looking for something new in Oklahoma sports scene. Young man got in touch with us and said, hey, why don't you have us on and talk about hurling? I said, well, I don't know anything about it, so why don't you come on and tell us about it. This is Jim Herron, by the way. He is the founder, chair of the Tulsa Gaelic Athletic Club. Yep. His friend Stephen Zanishek is with him to talk more about this ancient sport. Why don't you, Jim, first give us an idea a little more about the Tulsa Gaelic Athletic Club?
Yep, sure. So we're in our second year as an organization. We're trying to kind of expand awareness, reach out to people in Tulsa because I still get, I'm playing the sport of hurling and they're assuming that I'm talking about a stone on ice. So it's just trying to raise awareness for this sport that's got 3,000 years of history and, once you watch it, it's labeled the fastest game on grass. So it's something that really can catch your eye.
Now, Stephen, I've actually seen him play this in Ireland when some of my trips over Ireland. It seems absurd to me to get a bunch of drunk Irishmen sticks and balls to play running on a field. But give us some about the equipment. Tell us about the sport itself and what's involved with some of the skills, Stephen.
Okay. So imagine a football field and then imagine it multiple times bigger.
Yeah, it's massive. Unbelievable.
You got your hurl.
And how many on a side?
15 aside.
How many?
So 30 total on the field. You got 14 individuals out there attacking the ball, driving it down the field, striking it, swinging it like a baseball bat.
That's called a
hurley, or hurl for short.
And this?
Slidder.
Yep.
Or ball.
That's a very small ball for a big field like that. Wow.
So it's got some exposed seams, so you can solo or balance it on the end of your hurl. And then you're swinging it like a baseball bat and sending it 70 plus meters down the field.
What do you think, Coach?
I think you might get hit in the head.
So in 2001, they made helmets required, so we do have some buckets on for protection.
I saw when they had no helmets.
Right.
It was brutal. Wow. Now you have a big event coming up February 1st.
Yes.
Talk about that. People get more, see the sport themselves.
Right. So we've been fortunate enough that we've been very well intertwined with the Kansas City Gaelic Athletic Club, and they've really taken us under their wing and said, we'll help you grow the sport. So this will be our third match against them, and February 1st at the Titan Main Sports Complex, we're going to be playing a match where we're just going to be trying to showcase it to Tulsa. The idea is that rather than you be overwhelmed or what have you, this is a free, open event where you can just get a better feeling for it. Because despite these eloquent description. What people have in their mind's eye is not usually what actually ends up happening. So it's not nearly as intimidating as it sounds.
It's going to be at the Titan Main Sports Complex, East 81st, right behind the big Tulsa Hill shopping area there. You know, you're kind of interested in some future plans might involve some
yeah,
kids.
we're talking about doing some lacrosse in this next year, club lacrosse to start with. But let me ask you this. Okay, so you have 30 people out on the field. Okay. So I guess one of them is a goaltender? Or,
Yes.
Okay.
Not any more equipment than anybody else on the field.
Right, okay. Wow. So do you play quarters or halves or how long
It's
does
usually
it last?
halves. What we do is we typically make it 15 to 20 minute halves because we're all amateurs. None of us quite yet have that fitness level where we're ready to run 150 yards for 35 minutes.
Oh, really? 35 minutes a half?
Yeah.
Okay.
How big are the goals?
It's more or less like a soccer goal. It's a little bit smaller.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
So officials, you have officials?
I will probably dub myself as the referee for this match. I actually just got back from Austin this weekend where we were going through coaching certifications and things like that to try and, again, have a bit stronger foundation for us to grow as a club.
You have penalties?
Yeah, but it's getting pretty liberal.
You're not going to last long as a referee.
However, my fingers are all pointing in the right direction, so I'm,
There you go. Yeah.
Hey, talk about some of the future plans, include an at-risk youth program.
Right. So I was saying earlier that we've been very fortunate as a club to have gotten such great support from the Tulsa community. And we want to look to give that back. So whether that means we're going forth and coming to programs that don't have typical athletic programs and just showing up with 15 sticks and saying, after school, hey, let's go play this ball that no one's ever played before. The idea is that everyone's on equal footing. It promotes a lot more of a community involvement because that's what this sport is in Ireland. This sport is about identifying with your community. Everyone grows together.
Every county has a team over there.
Absolutely.
Steve, what would your position be on the field there?
I play defense. In all the sports I play, I've just been kind of that big body to stop people from getting in close.
But you also have a stick, right?
Yes. I also have a stick, so everyone's fitted with their stick and helmet. And so, like Jim
said. So if you're bigger, you get a bigger stick?
Right. Yeah.
Well, the goalie has a little bit of a bigger stick.
Bigger stick,
right.
Okay.
But, because he's...
Give us the details again for February 1st.
Sure. February 1st from 2 to 3:30 at the Titan Main Sports Complex off East 81st in Tulsa.
Free admission.
Yes, absolutely.
So come hurl over there, right? had to throw that in there, Coach.
I know you did.
We got some things to promote besides their February 1st event. Get out there and support and find out about the Tulsa Gaelic Association and get your first experience of hurling. We got some big events and coaching starts for you on January 30th. 8th annual Tulsa
TPS Athletics Hall of Fame. And I tell you, you need to call immediately if you want to attend because when this show airs, it will be Wednesday night at 10 o'clock and the event is the next day. We will not turn down your money.
And ORU baseball dinners, January the 31st. That's at the Glenpool Convention Center, featuring the New York Mets pitching coach, former ORU pitcher Jeremy Hefner. The BOK Basketball Classic coach coming up February 1st for our schools.
The showcase, 8 schools start at 10 o'clock at the BOK Center. The great matchups throughout the day. BTW will play the last 2 games.
Oh, nice.
And, of course, our BTW girls were number 1 until they got beat this past weekend. But defending state champions, the boys defending state champions, it's going to be a really, really good day of basketball.
And our first show of February the 5th. Of course, we wrap up the Super Bowl. Big Jerry Ostaski will be back to talk about the Super Bowl. Also, that BOK wrap-up. Michael, that's going to be the all-day shooting, right?
Michael and I will be there with us, and Bill Haston will be my co-partner.
That's I'm going to be.
You'll be in Disney.
I'm at Disney World. My little granddaughter, Carly Ann. So I'm a week at Disney World. Coach and Bill Haston take good care of you. Thanks for joining us this time on Oklahoma Sports Scene. See you, everyone.